So here we are with Kyle Larson, the driver of the number 42 Chip Ganassi Target team. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
So tell me, Kyle, your very first memory of the Daytona 500.
My very first memory, I just always kind of looked forward to the duels, when I was in school, because we kept it a secret from my mom, and my dad would come pick me up early from school around lunchtime, and I'd go home and I'd be able to watch those races. So I always look forward to the duels each year. And then, I don't remember, my first memory of who won or anything like that. But, Daytona, I've always known of the Daytona 500 as being one of the biggest races in the world, and always look forward to watching the event.
Tell me about the first time you attended the Daytona 500 race.
Well, my first time attending it was last year for my race, and it couldn't have went any worse. So. My first memory is not a great one, but it's definitely one I'll never forget because first lap into turn one, I got tight and I hit the wall. Then we went down the back stretch and I blew right front, so I hit the wall again and came down pit road, and then we were changing that and fixing the body. Went a couple laps down. Didn't quite fix the body good enough, so I ran by myself, out of the draft forever, and then cut a right rear tire down and spun. Then there was a lot of rain delays too, so I was already mad, and then you had to sit for another 5 or 6 hours just to think about your mistake you just made on the first lap. And then we almost actually got back onto the lead lap at the end of the race, catching the lucky dogs and stuff like that, right? And was battling for the lucky dog, and then Austin Dillon got into me and spun and wrecked us, which ended our race. But yeah, not a very good Daytona 500, so hopefully the rest of them are a lot better than that one.
Seems like you kind of used up all 9 lives on that one, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. After that first race, we're like, oh, this is going to be a long year, but luckily we rebounded pretty quickly.
I'm glad it finished out better than it started, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, even the second Daytona race wasn't very good for us, so I haven't had much luck at Daytona. I mean, yeah, I haven't had any luck, really. I went through the fence my first nationwide race there, so Daytona's not too nice to me.
Well, you can turn that around for next month, right?
I hope so. Hopefully 2015 is a good year for me at Daytona. But I'll take a couple bad races at Daytona if I can win a lot of runs during the regular year.
There you go. Now, Jamie McMurray is your new teammate as of last year. He's won at Daytona. Is there anything that you've learned from him?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things I've learned from Jamie everywhere, and that's Daytona, Talladega, the super speedways. I definitely talked to him quite a bit just because he's one of the best. You can ask anybody in the garage, and they'll say Jamie McMurray is one of the best ones at super speedway racing. So try and learn as much as I can from him. There's lots of things I've learned just from watching him as well as other drivers just being behind them in the race. So I feel like I'm getting better. I just got a lot of work to do to get better yet.
That's right. Thanks a lot, Kyle.
Thanks.
Kyle Larson, the number 42 Target team driver.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle Larson. You just heard my first Daytona 500 experience, and I want to hear yours. #MyFirst500.